What's up, everybody? So you might have seen a recent mini video I made about Elia being back. If you haven't, you should go check it out. It's pretty funny, I think. And I kind of just wanted to capitalize on the situation by making a reacts video to the whole situation. So if you don't know, this past summer, a bunch of girls came out and alleged sexual inapproprieties, which is kind of ridiculous because it's not illegal to be inappropriate, as far as I know. It's just kind of creepy. That's a cool article. I guess we're really stretching the line as far as, what society's okay with and not okay with. Well, that's cool. Things change. And the article mostly focuses on a couple girls who were age 16 at the time Chris sent them direct messages and would eventually allude to, sexual things in nature. I personally think that's a little creepy. Like Chris says, it's not illegal though. Because if you didn't know, the age of consent for the federal law is as low as 12, which is kind of crazy. But for actual sexy times, it varies between states, 16 to 18. I don't know if you can read this. I'll make it a lot bigger. Depending on where you live, the legal age of consent is between 16 and 18. Everyone in this map here, if you have blue state, the legal age of consent is 16. So if these girls lived in any of these states, totally legal to actually have full-blown sexy times with them. And a lot of these places have caveats though. So I know like Tennessee, where I'm from, anyone as young as 13 can have sex, but they have to be within 4 years of their age. So like if you're 17, you can have sex with a 21-year-old, but not a 22-year-old. You have to wait until you're 18, and then it's full-blown. And if you go outside the United States, it gets even crazier. In Myanmar, the age of consent is 14, which is gnarly. That's up to the countries, though, to make the laws that they make. If you don't like the age of consent in your state, or think it should be higher, then you should, go out there and pressure lawmakers to change it. That's how democracy works. It's going to be hard. Life's hard. But back to the Chris thing, I personally, again, don't think it's really cool to be hitting up underage women for sexual things in nature. But I think Chris has kind of learned from this in his video he put out. He clearly has a problem with sex and being addicted to sex. So hopefully this is like a moment where he can realize the error of his ways and kind of redeem himself, and hopefully we can forgive and forget him for that, because we all make mistakes in life. Anyone who doesn't is lying, or they're not a human, because everyone I've met's made a bunch of mistakes, including myself. But that's just life. We make mistakes and we learn from them. What wouldn't be okay is if Chris came out with this video, and then maybe a year or two later, there was even more allegations that came out of more recent, cahoodlings. Because it's one thing to make a mistake and say, I'm going to try and do better, but it's another to make a mistake, say you're going to try and do better, and then make that same mistake again. At some point you have to draw the line where you're like, okay, we gave you another chance. Usually it's three strikes, you're out. So this was his first strike. So hopefully he can redeem himself. And I kind of just want to touch on the women too. The way the media painted this, they put a lot of emphasis on underage, but there's a big difference, I think, between like a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old and an 18-year-old. I know for myself, at the age of 12, I wasn't very interested in cahoodling with the opposite sex. Fast forward to 16, and I was very interested in cahoodling with the opposite sex. And I think as kind of women, this is a picture of her when she's 16. That's pretty vanilla, no big deal. But here she is when she's 18, I think, or 20. Another picture of her, and then back to the same picture of her. And I think the pictures kind of speak for themselves. In this new world we have where women are kind of owning their sexuality, I think if you're going to put yourself out there sexually in the world, you should not be surprised if gentlemen try and engage you sexually. And if the age of consent in your state is 16, then when you turn 16 and you're putting yourself out there sexually, you shouldn't be surprised when people engage you sexually. Not to say that that's right or wrong, but I don't think it should come as a shock or surprise, like this article paints it. So yeah, it's kind of my take on the whole thing. Hopefully you learned something. I know I did about the age of consent in the United States in Myanmar. And yeah, if you want to see more content with me in it, you can follow me here on my YouTube channel, or my Instagram, or my Twitter, or my TikTok. That'll all be below down in the description. So I hope everybody has a good day. Bye.